My name is Jason Hughes. I'm a project manager at Ignition. And Ignition, we are a publisher that we always have our eye on unique, really high-quality games, and Muramasa is an excellent example for that.
So, and you guys had a presence at E3 this year.
That's correct.
How was the reception at E3 this year for you guys?
It was so exciting. It was our first E3. A lot of work went into that presence, and the response was phenomenal. We actually had the head of Vanillaware, George Kamatani. He's an amazing artist, and so much of this is right out of his brain and right out of his soul and his heart. He was there to actually meet with some of the fans and to sign autographs, and that got us a lot of attention. We also had a lot of awards, E3 awards. We ended up getting Best Wii Game from IGN, and I know G4 for X-Play. They gave us Best Wii Game as well. So that gave us the response was really positive, and we knew that was something special that people couldn't wait to get their hands on.
Where did the idea of Muramasa come from? The storyline in and of itself is about a shogun that is going out looking for a bunch of swords that can allow him to pretty much take over the world or whatever.
Right.
And get two heroes, a girl and a guy, that both have interesting storylines within themselves.
Right.
And they're out there to get the swords themselves to prevent the shogun from doing so. Where did that idea come from?
Well, so much about the game is, I talked about graphics, a little bit about the gameplay, but another key point of the game is its roots in Japanese history and mythology. So the core inspiration of the game actually came from some kabuki plays from Japan. So a lot of everything that you see in the game is historically accurate and has a place in ancient Japan. So the two characters, Kisuke and Momohime, two ninjas on the run, trying to solve problems with their past and clear the names for themselves. Look at the woodblock paintings that are in Japan, the cultural things like I mentioned, the kabuki plays.
Right.
That was the core inspiration. They wanted to do something that was distinctly Japanese.
I see. Now, the Japanese culture is a rich one to begin with, and you mentioned the kabuki plays as one of the core sources of inspiration for the graphic design for the game.
Right.
And you were right. When I did actually get a chance to sit down with the game, one of the first things I noticed was how beautifully done, how beautifully graphically it was done. What is probably for you one of the best aspects of Muramasa on the Nintendo Wii as far as gameplay is concerned?
As far as gameplay, I like the sword variety. So there's 108 different swords that you get throughout the game. Some that you get by beating bosses, so you can progress in other areas. And you also have to collect souls, and you have to collect spirit. The game is called Muramasa, and Muramasa is a legendary forger. He creates the swords, and you actually have an entire sword tree of what swords you can create when you want to forge those, and what branch you want to upgrade on. So that element is particularly entertaining, especially since each sword has their own abilities, has their own special features, and their own special attacks. And sometimes they'll give you extra bonuses as well, like more experience points or more hit points, in addition to how they actually play physically. So, to me, you play the game, it feels like a painting. I mean, it really does to me. And I think a lot of you'll see is they're able to create such depth in a 2D game because of the different layers that they use. There's some screens on here that have 10 to 12 unique layers that move at different speeds to help create the illusion of depth. So you can have items in front of you, you can have a foreground for your character, you can have background, and it can extend all the way into the background, even further into such great detail and distances. So that really gives you a very big depth to the world while staying within its 2D genre.
Now, 2D game, single player only.
That's correct.
Yes? Okay. Even though it is a single player game initially, I found that while I was playing the game, it was good to have another set of eyes to let me know where my sword's durability was going to break, where I need to heal up. I mean, about that when you were deciding that this is only going to be a single player game?
I think that the fact that it is a single, I know what you're talking about. I've had some the backseat gamers who love to call it, you need to switch swords, you need to switch swords, you need to switch swords. So I started to really kind of pay attention to that. But I think the experience itself, especially the way that the stories are, they are very solo experiences. They're the detail and what the characters are actually going through is a very solitary kind of feel. So I actually think that that fits in with the single-player gameplay. It makes you feel a little bit more alone, a little bit more in tune with what the story is, what these characters have to achieve, and where they are in the world.
Okay. Any final words for our guests and our audiences out there?
Just that, you want to support 2D gaming? I love 2D gaming. We can always use more of it. I think this title is completely unique. It's exciting. The art, music, gameplay, the experience of Japan. This is the title to see it at. It's available now.
Thank you very much, Jason.
Thank you very
Appreciate
much.
your time.